All right, welcome back. The flu season in Jamaica normally starts in October and can last up to May. December to March is also considered to be the peak season. And so we've invited medical practitioner Dr. Stefan Nunez to tell us about precautions that we need to take. Hello, sir.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm not bad, thanks.
Morning, sir.
Good morning to you as
well.
well.
You good?
I'm good.
Debbie said something a while ago before we came on. It flew not just right through the year, especially in a country like ours. I think I could understand the season if it is winter, summer, spring, all kind of thing. But with our temperature kind of level off most of the time, flew not right through the year.
Right through, but as Debbie had rightfully said, that you do have peaks. And our peaks tend to be between September and March. Sometimes it goes as far as May.
Why?
So there are a few theories that are out there. One is that the nature of the activities that we do closer to that time, we tend to be more huddled, especially around Christmas time. We have parties, we have link-ups, we have dinners, and it is caught by droplets. So you sneeze, you cough. So when you're in a closer space, it's easier to contract the virus.
Yeah, since the precautions post-COVID kind of lessened, you know, not many persons are doing things again like wearing the mask every day or sanitizing the hands every single day. Is that something that you're recommending now still?
Absolutely, especially when you are in crowded places, as definitely in the case of healthcare facilities. Once you're in closed spaces, you're still encouraged to use your mask. You should still be using hand sanitization and proper hygiene, social distancing as best as possible. So it's also high contact surfaces, your doorknobs, your levers, your switches, your phones, your computers for this day and age, certainly. It's very important because it's a virus like any other. It's under the general banner of flu-like illnesses. It behaves a lot like a lot of other viruses, including the dengue, COVID-19, RSV, and the like. But the contraction by droplets, I mean, somebody here sneezes who is infected and then touches the surface. You touch the surface and then you touch your eyes, you touch your nose, you touch your mouth. And it's that easy to get it.
Doc, they'll be impressed with me this morning because she coming up with some, in a very serious way, some wonderful questions. But that question that she asked about mask, flu been around forever. Is COVID we start wear a mask?
Yes.
So is it a concern that we're still in that maybe COVID space somewhere where you answered the way you did, or are you suggesting that mask is now a part of our lives? Lifestyle.
It's more leaning towards the latter. COVID is very much a part of us now. It's now it's expected. We're expecting COVID cases within a certain range every year. And
every year?
Yes, it's much like... so.
And you expected that before 2020?
That was a little bit up in the air. The pandemic certainly brought the highest peaks that you'd ever see, but it doesn't go back down to zero. So
doesn't ever go back down to zero?
Unlikely. Unlikely. So during the flu season, you did normally have two peaks or two big peaks. One was from RSV and the other would be from influenza. Now you have COVID-19 joining that unfortunate party. And sometimes if you look at a lot of the research areas, they speak about what is known as a triple-demic, which is where they forecast that maybe, or it is now possible that you can have those peaks together, high cases of RSV, high cases of influenza, and high cases of COVID-19.
Triple-demic.
Triple-demic.
So you could have all three of them at once?
It's possible.
You just bring some really good news in here. Triple-demic.
I have to give the truth.
Exactly.
No, we need to hear. We need to hear.
Yes.
But again, I'm going back to it. So you are suggesting that we wear a mask?
Yes.
Period. Argument done.
Argument done.
On and off season?
On and off season.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work though, Doc. You'll agree that, you know, to always remember to do the precautionary measures, right? Sanitize the hand, and if you see somebody sneezing, you know, be aware of that kind of thing. Maybe tell them to go and sanitize the hand as well. It's a lot of work, especially coming out of a pandemic where everything was shut down and you were always occupied with that kind of thought. You know, how can, you know, companies, businesses, you know, even with your own life, kind of just stay on top of that to just make sure that they're doing their part in trying to make sure that, you know, it's not spreading in their spaces?
Most things, good practice makes good perfect. So most facilities, or quite a few, have an infectious disease or prevention control team. It's something that you always have to repeat, and you also show yourself as an example. So by doing, reminding, daily reminders, ring it in their ears, listen, and make it available. So have a hand sanitization station, remind them to wash their hands, have tissues on hand, and also, most importantly, the other preventative measures. So the sanitization team, your janitors, they do an amazing job, and they have a very important job to clean these places.
Stefan, hear the plan now. Flu, dengue, COVID start out the same way, in my opinion. This is my opinion. So you get a little cough, you have a little throat thing. How I know what is what? Because if you have flu, you say, take this. But if it's dengue, don't take that. And if it's COVID, worse, don't take none away they take before. How we know that? The suggestion, and you know, is a question really, even though it don't sound so. But the suggestion can be every time I sneeze, I went and call the doctor and say, is flu, dengue, or COVID now?
So it's one of the tricky parts, because all of those are under the banner of influenza-like illnesses, and as you had rightfully said, most of them start off the same way. So the sure way to be certain is by doing tests. So you have dengue tests, you have tests to check for COVID, the swabs that a lot of us are not so happy about, and that's the sure way. Now, for most of these illnesses, the flu-like illnesses, most people don't show symptoms. The next set of people who show symptoms, they're normally clear by themselves in about a week, right? What I will say is that if you find that 10 days are passing, your fever is not breaking, your cough is getting worse, the sore throat not going down, you're feeling lousy, you're not able to keep down your fluids, it's time to have a talk with a doctor. We're not saying every time you must call the doctor, but certainly those are cases where, no man, something is going on with your body.
So if I feel like it, give it a couple hours, maybe give it a couple days, and if it getting worse or it not changing, then say, Stefan.
Yeah, not a problem. You know where to find me. So it's really, in the meantime, your home remedies, because there's no cure, but you do treat the symptoms. It's very, your body will clear it usually.
Home remedies like what?
But it's quite miserable in the meantime. Home remedies, you gargle your salt, your warm salt, water, your lime. Most people have some form of acetaminophen at home. And that's
acetaminophen? So
it's commonly found in your Panadol, your Cetamol.
Yeah, but that is the scary part, because when you heard of COVID, you said, don't take Panadol. I don't say it was Panadol, but they said, don't take that. I mean, but if it's flu, take that. But that, to me, that is the scary part. So if I get up and I sneeze 2 times, I'm going to draw off a little thing and say, well, and then is the wrong thing I draw.
You're not supposed to be drawing for it. That is the thing. That is the thing.
One that you were recommended to stay away from are the NSAIDs. So those are the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Yeah. And the Panadol was safe, the acetaminophen was safe.
Okay.
Flu shots?
Flu shots, definitely. Every year there's a vaccine. The vaccine has to be made every year because they try as best as possible to match it to what are the most likely strains in circulation.
But it doesn't stop you from getting the flu.
It doesn't stop you from getting it.
But if you get it and you have the vaccine, it don't get too serious.
That's one. 2, it prevents the chances of you passing it on to somebody else. Because remember, you can be infected, not show symptoms, but still pass it on.
Ah, gotcha.
Thanks, my friend. Very well explained.
Thank you so much.
All the very best to you and the family for that.
Thank you.
2024.
Medical practitioner.
Thanks for your service.
That is true. Thank you so much for your service, sir. Medical practitioner Dr. Stefan Nunez. The second edition of News in 5 next.